All right, wanted to quickly give a tutorial on how to do Viparita Dandasana, right, forearm wheel, with the assumption that if you're doing this right now, that you have done the prep work, right? You've created length in the lat muscles in the outer shoulder, so think dolphins, think side bends, that you've lengthened the quads and the hip flexors, and that you have strengthened the back of your body, okay? With all that said, let's set up, okay? Right, my setup is the same as I would for wheel. I'm gonna tell you, take the feet a little bit wider than your hips, slight turn out of the toes, think 10 and 2 o'clock. Okay, and then the hands, same thing, a little bit wider than my shoulders, and a slight turn out of the pointer fingers. But find whatever is most comfortable in your wheel pose. Now, where most people go wrong, I'm gonna show you how I used to practice it and how I used to teach it, okay? Is you just set the head on the floor. And most people, they come up like they're coming in a wheel, they set their head down here. But I want you to see how far my arm has to go to get to the floor. So I have to have all this range of motion in my shoulder, which I can do, but not everybody can, okay? So I'm gonna get smarter because I can't get actually more flexible today. And I'm just gonna change the setup to make my job easier. So as I go to set the head down, again, I'm not gonna take the head down here. I'm actually going to shift it back in line with my hands more. So now when my forearm comes to the floor, it doesn't have to go as far. And then I press that forearm into the floor so I can pick up that left hand and bring my other forearm to the floor. Interlace my fingers like I'm setting up for traditional headstand. And then I walk my feet in a little bit. You can see my feet are a little bit wide and they stay a little bit wider and a little bit turned out. And then from here, I'm pressing my forearms into the floor. Maybe my head lifts. Maybe I walk my feet in a little bit closer. But I'm gonna wrap my armpits towards each other to stabilize the shoulder and then press into my forearms to create the length. Now, if I wanna straighten my legs, I can straighten my legs. If I want to try to walk the feet in a little bit more, I can walk the feet in a little bit more. And then to come out of this, I set my head down. One hand out, the other hand out, come out of it, and all the way down. Now, a question for you. If your head does not leave the floor, are you still practicing forearm wheel? The answer is yes. It's that you are attempting to get your head off the floor. There's many reasons why your head might not get off the floor. And it could be that your upper arm is not as long as your neck and your head, which means that you may never get your head off the floor. Things to keep in mind, the elbows want to go wide. What do we want? Wrap them in so we can stack joints so that we can stabilize the shoulder and use more muscles, okay? But we're gonna try and press our forearms into the floor, just like we would for dolphin, to get that head to maybe get off the floor or not. That's not the goal. The goal is to press into the floor to create length to the outer shoulder.